Senator Dick Durbin from Illinois is in the spin room and is going to spin for us right now. Senator, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Just don't ask me my reaction to the debate.
I won't. Although I might. I could change my mind. So let me just ask you. We've been talking about this here on the set. We've got this new poll out today, ABC News Washington Post poll, that shows that even though President Obama effectively wound down the war in Iraq and took out Osama bin Laden, he is now running pretty much neck and neck with Mitt Romney on issues like foreign affairs, commander-in-chief, and trust to handle terrorism. How can that be?
Well, it's a good question, and I don't know the answer to it, because when you look at the record in foreign policy of Mitt Romney, sadly, he went over to England and managed to infuriate our closest ally. Then he went to Israel, another close ally, for a fundraising luncheon. He doesn't exactly have a distinguished record when it comes to diplomacy and foreign affairs. But the American voters may be listening to this debate to draw their conclusions.
Senator Durbin, one topic we know that we're going to hear about is what is America's role in the world? What's its proper role? And I'm curious to get your take on what you see as the differences between the president on this and Mitt Romney.
Well, I think there's a significant difference. Compare the last 8 years under George W. Bush. We were engaged in 2 wars, in Iraq and Afghanistan. The grim totals today, 6,500 American lives were lost. Trillions of dollars were spent, added to our national debt. What the president has done is to virtually end the war in Iraq, bring the troops home, and have a deadline for ending the war in Afghanistan. When I listen to the advisors on the Republican side, they are talking about sending more American troops into theaters around the world. Don't lead from behind, be assertive. Let's go to Syria, let's go to Iran, let's go to Libya. You know, I have to remind my colleagues on the Republican side, it's a lot easier to get in a war than it is to get out of one. Let us use our good offices and diplomacy to promote American values and our foreign policy. And of course, the military has to be there, but only as the last resort.
Senator Durbin, you sit on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. You watched as this president took office, vowing to close Guantanamo Bay, vowed to end the use of what the Bush administration called enhanced interrogation techniques. Today, some of the sharpest criticisms of this president's foreign policy come from the liberal side of the spectrum, where people are especially unhappy with, for example, the expanded drone war. What do you tell a disappointed Democrat who doesn't see a big difference, at least on the issue of drone strikes, from the previous administration?
I think there's been a significant achievement under this president when it comes to keeping America safe, ending these wars, making certain that al-Qaeda is on the run and Osama bin Laden is moldering in some watery grave, and at the same time reducing the likelihood of the expansion of nuclear weapons. Now, I happen to agree with the president's position on Guantanamo, but it was not a majority position in Congress. He accepted that reality and moved to achieve those things he could achieve. So from the left, I would just say to them, unless and until we are in control, and we're not likely to be in full control, we won't have the whole agenda that many of us are looking for.
Senator Durbin, Matt Dadd said a couple minutes ago on this set that if Barack Obama loses this election, the reason will be that first debate when many people feel he was simply asleep. What are the chances, in your view, that Barack Obama is not going to show up for this debate yet again tonight?
The president will be there tonight. We took our kind of a pulse of what occurred after Denver. We lost about 2.5 points. With the vice president's debate in Kentucky, as well as the president's debate at Hofstra, we've regained 1.5 points. It is a very close race. In the battleground states, as of last Friday, we were ahead in all but one state, 3 to 7 points. So we continue to focus on those states that will decide the election. We think we have the right turnout the vote strategy. We'll be overwhelmed with money by super PACs spending against us, but I think we're on the right course to get the president reelected.
Senator Dick Durbin, pre-spinning the debate from Boca Raton, and I resisted the temptation to ask you who won, and I hope you appreciate that.
I'm leaning, I can tell you, I'm leaning.
Okay. All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Senator. We appreciate it.